Hi, hello everybody. Welcome. Today we are starting the Realign 5-day challenge, and I'm Eleanor Dooley, and I'm so excited that you're here today. I want you to come on and be interested to learn more about your body and how we're going to realign over the next 5 days. What kind of transformation are you thinking that you really need right now? So I want you to get comfortable, grab a warm or cool drink, depending on where you are. I'm just going to make sure that I'm signed in so that I can see your questions. And grab a notebook or something that you can use to write down. Of course, if you're driving, I don't expect you to write any comments or anything like that, but want to make sure you're safe. So welcome. How's everybody's weekend? I write a comment below so that I know that I can see your comments as they come in if you have any questions. So let me know you're here. And okay, we will get started. So welcome. If you've signed up, hello, Rita. If you signed up for the Realign 5-day challenge, this is where you need to be. So you made it, you've done it, no other things required to get started this morning, but listening and interacting with me so that I know what you need. I'm Eleanor Dooley. I'm a functional nutritionist and licensed dietitian nutritionist, and I'm coming to you today because I felt so passionate about getting people to understand that nutrition is much more than food. If you've ever tried a diet in your life, or if you've ever been told there's a certain way that people in general should do things, and maybe it didn't work for you or you didn't see the results that you were promised, then you have been on a diet or you've been exposed to the diet culture. And today we're going to dive a little bit deeper into what the diet culture has done to us and why and how to get more intuitive so that we can tune into the clues, the signals of our own bodies, and how we can change them so that we can be healthier and understand our own personal body. Because we all know one size fits all dieting doesn't work. And I don't know who it works for, maybe the person selling the products or the diets or the books or the pills or the shakes. But what we truly need to tune into is why my body is different. And that's what we're going to get into today. So I'm so happy that you're here. If you're watching the replay, please post below that you're watching the replay so that I know that you're here and you're ready. Because today begins the challenge, the experience. And what's going to happen over the next 5 days is I'm going to slowly unfold for you things that are going to get you thinking and things that are going to get you motivated and realigned from maybe the craziness that has happened over the last year, 18 months, 2 years. Maybe you kind of need a jump start because summer's coming to an end, kids are back in school, things are getting back either on track or they're shifting in a different way. And this time of year, for me especially, I feel very attuned to nature. I feel very connected. And I think it's really important that we do this, we experience this connection because it helps us tune into what our body is needing, the nutrients that it needs, the rest that it needs, the hydration that it needs, so that we can best perform. We can have the best productivity. We can be more connected with the people in our lives. And best of all, we can feel good. So if you're ready to do that, we are going to dive in. So I'm excited that you're here and I'm excited that this is day one. First of all, just a little bit about me. Like I said, I'm a nutritionist. My background is actually kind of all over the place. I used to be in the military. I'm a mother of three. I live in Northern Virginia. We are a military family, and we've traveled and lived all over the world. But I grew up in Pittsburgh, and I love going back and visiting, and I really value the family connections that I have all over the world. And I became a nutritionist because I was really starting to connect the dots for myself. Rita, you're from Pittsburgh? No way. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. We're going to have to chat offline. But it's really important to stay connected to the things that support your body and your life. And it's also important to disconnect from the things that don't support you or that keep you in a toxic feeling environment. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. So raise your hand if you've ever been on a diet, right? It's pretty much every single person. In some fashion, some way, shape, or form, we have been shaped as a culture, as a society, to adapt a certain way of living, a certain way of consuming, a certain way of eating. And we've been told rules. We've been told this is good and this is bad. This will get you where you want to be and this will not. And there's a lot of psychological dangers in that mentality. And I'm going to break apart pieces of that today, hopefully to get your gears thinking and to get you reflecting on the things that don't serve you in your life, the thoughts that might keep you stuck, the actions that might keep you in a plateau, whether this is for weight loss, whether this is for getting healthier, whether this is for getting mental clarity or feeling more connected to the loved ones in your life. This has a lot to do with staying connected, okay? And diet culture as a whole is designed to keep you disconnected. And I'm going to tell you why. This is very near and dear to my heart, and one of the reasons I became a nutritionist, because I believe that intuition and nutrition go together. And if they don't go together, there's something missing. There's something that hasn't quite clicked. And that's why we're going to talk about it today. So if you have a little pen and paper, or if you just want to sit back and think about these thoughts, I'm going to have a few takeaways for you today, things to kind of get you to think about as we dive into these issues this week, because I want to hear how you're feeling and if this is resonating with you, because it's really important for us to find where we're starting, where we are. Because if we have goals and we have, passion towards doing better or being better, we have to know where we're starting, because we have to know how to address the fundamental basics that often get overlooked, but are the reasons that we're keeping stuck in this cycle, okay? So the first kind of assignment or thought that I want you to dive into today is think about the diet propaganda that is in your life. Okay. Do you follow somebody on social media that is constantly talking about losing weight or weight loss photos or transformations as a way on the outside? It's a way to stay motivated, to stay, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And I do empathize with that mindset. Like, I'm not a super competitive person, but if I see somebody else doing something that I want, I immediately start thinking, how can I integrate what they're doing? But diet culture isn't that. Diet culture is mimicking what someone else is doing, which doesn't always work, and for the most part doesn't work at all, because it tends to be very restrictive. It tends to be very personal to somebody else. And if we don't see results, we start questioning what's wrong with us, right? What's wrong with my body? Why am I not getting those results? Maybe I have to work harder. Maybe I have to cut out more. Maybe I have to work out more. Which, if you're not looking at the whole picture, could really be exasperating any issues that you're having. Especially for females, we tend to do this a lot as we're naturally caregivers. We're naturally giving more of ourselves, just as the way we were culturally raised. And women kind of get that assignment, whether it's self-imposed or whether it's just the way that life is in their lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with being a caregiver, but we generally are not on the list of things to take care of. And that's where I've finally kind of woken up to, it is important because I am important as a caregiver, and it's important for me to take care of myself. And part of taking care of myself is blocking out things that don't serve me, blocking out toxic energy, toxic thoughts. If you, like I was saying, follow people on social media that are constantly talking about dieting or, how it feels to step on the scale and lose weight, all of these sort of triggering behaviors tend to make us feel like crap. And I have a new rule. If I see something on social media or it triggers negative or toxic emotions in me, I immediately unfollow, unsubscribe, delete. I get it out of my bubble. I get it out of my energy, because if my energy is being affected and brought down to a level where I don't feel supported, I'm staying stuck down here instead of being elevated up here. So that's the number one thing that I want you to think about doing. We see commercials on TV, if any of us still actually watch TV with commercials, but we're exposed to ads. Let me just put it that way, in whatever way, shape, or form. And I want you to really start thinking about how you are interpreting the things that we're constantly bombarded with. If you listen to podcasts, or if you, are consuming things from our society, then I want you to evaluate how that's actually affecting you today, tomorrow, and the next day. And I want to challenge you to get rid of the things that don't feel good. Okay, so that's number one. That's principle number one. We're going to start eliminating diet propaganda in our lives. Okay, number two, take a history. So think about the diets, the plans, the protocols, the whatever word you want to use, but things that you have tried in the past that have been for a specific reason, like shrinking your waist, like losing pounds, like restricting something in your life, okay? And think about, maybe jot down all of the things if you tried. If you've ever tried, like Weight Watchers or Whole30, or I know I've done a number of plans of like 30-day resets, 5-day slim downs. I've even written some as a nutritionist when I very first started. I put together programs like that. And inherently, there's nothing wrong with wanting to reset. After all, this is a reboot, but this is more of a mental reboot. This is more of a mind shift transformation. And were the results from any of these programs, were any of them permanent? Did any of them actually change your habits, your the way you think about food, your outlook on life? And what did it say about yourself? What did it do for your self-esteem? Did it totally boost you to a place where you're in a really good place right now? Because if it did, I guarantee there was an element of intuition and there was an element of supporting yourself. If it didn't, which I have to admit, most of the programs out there right now aren't doing that, then we learned a lesson, right? We always learn lesson from triggering behaviors in our lives or things that feel really crummy. There's always a lesson to be learned in them. So what did you learn? And if it wasn't a lesson you choose to repeat, then it just further reinforces that we need to get rid of the diet culture and diet propaganda. The third one is consider the impact that the diet culture has had on the way you think about yourself. Are you constantly stepping on a scale every morning to see good news or bad news? Because that behavior in itself is set up for you to fail. It's set up for you to feel bad about yourself. It's set up for you to have lower self-esteem. And those habits don't serve you. They don't fill you up, and they don't make you feel good. So think about some habits in your day that have been influenced by this diet culture. Do you, I've heard some people saying they cut out fruit because they've been told it has a lot of sugar. They've cut out celery because it has too much salt. Some of these ideas that have been given to us have been given to us in a way that are not supportive. They don't actually make sense, but for some reason we grasp onto the latest fads, the latest, intermittent fasting is good for X, Y, and Z, and I want to lose weight, so I'm going to try it. And I personally have done that. I've taken these programs head on to see if that was a factor that influenced me and my metabolism, my sleep, my energy. And some of the things did open my eyes to the way my body responds. However, it's not a blanket statement that this is going to be successful for anybody or everybody or 1% of the people that are trying it. So you have to be careful on the things that you're willing to try without proper research or feedback or understanding that the needs of your body is different than the person who is telling them to you or selling them to you. Where functional nutrition is different is it's a personalized approach. So it's made for you, for your body, okay? So I want you to reflect on the way diet culture has affected who you are today, how often you work out, how early you go to bed, how much water you drink. And if we're kind of blindly following things that feel a little wonky in our bodies, we're not listening to our intuition. We're blindly listening to something that has really no interaction or connection with our body and our spirit. So the fourth thing is cut out some of the diet culture tools, okay? And some of these tools include, and I hate to say it or be the bearer of bad news, but things like the scale. Weighing yourself every day really isn't necessary. For some of us, it's become an obsession, or it just has become, a habit that we have to do to kind of justify actions throughout the day or behaviors from the previous day. And doing that act, and this is just one small example, doesn't make us feel good. It doesn't support us, and it doesn't actually reflect how much energy we've put into supporting our bodies. So that would be my first thing. Some other diet tools would be things that tracking. If you track your food, why are you doing that? Are you doing it because you want to meet a certain calorie count? Because you were told that a certain calorie count is where you need to be? Or are you doing it more as a reflection of your day and your nourishment and your support? So there's a very big difference between rotely doing it because someone told you and these are the rules, and doing it to support and going, this doesn't really work for me, or this didn't feel good for me. I'm going to change it and shift it. And that's what I'm going to help you do. I'm going to help you ask yourself how to realign. Instead of giving you a template and saying, this is how you do it, because I don't know how you do it. I know how I do it. And I want to share the tools that I use to figure it out. Okay. So the very last step today is one that is, It can be difficult for people because it involves being patient, right? We live in a culture, in a society where everything is instant. I could order lunch right now and it'd be on my doorstep within the hour. I could order all of my groceries for the whole week. I could order something on Amazon and have it here in 2 hours. Look, we are accustomed to instant gratification and instant reward. Okay, our bodies aren't designed to do that and to live that way. Our bodies change and adapt over time. We gain or lose weight over time. We get sick or healthy over time. And when we're trying to force it to be faster, it doesn't work. It doesn't line up. So a practice in being patient is super important to this transformation of realignment. We're going to dive a little bit more into this over the following upcoming days, over the next few days, because it's really paramount for you to listen to the signs of your body. And in order to do that, we need to block out the toxic energy. We need to block out the diet culture that can be consuming or that we are consuming. And being patient with ourselves when we do get sucked in or we do fall into relationships or conversations with our loved ones about things and realize that it's not supporting us, even though we initiated the conversation or we asked the question. So I want you to know that I'm here as a resource to hash these things out with you. I have a few people signed up for later today. We're having epic morning routines for the VIP members. So if that's something that you want to take advantage of, you can certainly jump on board. If you're not able to be here live at 1:30, I will send out all the materials in an email so you won't miss anything. But these next 5 days are going to be truly transformational if you take the time and energy to see the transformation and to invest that energy in yourself. And I'm so grateful to be here to be able to share this with you, as this, for me, helps me stay connected and helps me share the gifts that I have to share with you. So I'm honored to be here, and I'm so excited that you signed up to be part of the Realign challenge. I will make sure that you get the information that you need. So please reach out, whether you you write replay below, you write your questions below. I've had a few people reach out in private messages asking questions about themselves, and I'm more than happy to figure some things out for you. And I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. I'll see you at 9:30 unless you're a VIP, and then I will see you at 1:30 today. And if you're interested in signing up for the VIP, you can do so below. You get access to my epic morning routine, which is going to be fantastic. And by the way, it's mine that I'm going to teach you how to make yours. So mine might not work for you, but I will show you how you get to make it for yourself. Tomorrow I do a live Q&A for any nutrition questions that you have. This is a private, intimate setting for 30 minutes. And so if you want access to that, upgrade to VIP. On Wednesday, we have an amazing guest coming in, a dear friend of mine, Gina, who is an emotion code coach. And if you don't know anything about emotion code or body code, this is the perfect opportunity for you to see how trapped emotions in our body affect our health, affect the way we think, and affect the way that we carry ourselves in our lives. And so she's going to be our guest on Wednesday. So the VIP package is fantastic, you guys. It's such a opportunity for you to try things and learn how to become more connected so that you can feel more attuned to the things in your life. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Let me know what you thought of today, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.